How y'all doing? I'm gonna do a quick video on the R6 throttle tube. I already have mine on the bike, but I'm gonna go through the whole process of the procedure to do it. So yeah, get right back to it. Okay, so one of the first things we're gonna do on these bars. So right here is your adjuster. Pull this off. Pull this off. So this right here, we're gonna break this loose, and then we're gonna turn this adjuster all the way in to the left. So these are, both of these are 8mm. So yeah, you'll just break this loose, turn this in, and you're gonna turn this adjuster like this, all the way in. What that's gonna do is it's gonna give you a lot of slop, a lot of slack. A little more. This is going to give you slack, so when we take this off and we go to put it back on, we have enough to where we can clamp this. Next step, goes back a little bit, break this bar end loose, just like that. We'll spin that off. So with our bar end off, come up here, we need to push this back, and you want to break this off. Just like that. This keeps the casing together. And we'll take the casing off. You kind of want to go a little bit at a time with both of these until they get loose. About like that. This whole thing's loose. Now I'll finish taking that off. Alright, so when you get these bolts off and you go to take this case off, you want to be careful because this bottom piece will actually just drop off. So if this is painted on yours, you could possibly scratch it. So when you take both these bolts, be holding this together and then just lower this bottom piece so you don't scratch anything. You take this top one off. There's the tube. So now this is free. So all you're gonna do is turn it. You're gonna pop these out like that. Turn it the other way. I got a lot of grease on these, but pop that out. Let them kind of sit. Now this is literally, I'll post the link, but this is literally the R6 throttle tube. It's R1, R6, they're the same part number. This is how it comes. It comes with the grip already on it. This is my old one. You can see the grip's the same. The difference that you're going to see is just the cams here. You can see how much further those come out, how much wider it is. It's about here on this one. This one comes almost all the way to the end of the grip. But yeah, that's the difference. And basically it makes it where when you pull it, watch this right here. The stock one's about 90 degrees, so when you pull it to go full throttle, it's about that much throw. It's a lot. This one, it's about, I'd say 70, so about there. So it's much quicker. I mean, it takes most about all that away. So you're not having to grab another handful of throttle in the middle of a corner or anything coming out of a corner or just any position. So in my opinion, I feel like this should have been stock. I feel like that's great for like an MT bike, but this should have been on the R7 for sure. So I'm gonna do a reverse procedure. I'm just gonna slide this back on and show you how to do the adjustment and everything. All right, guys. So same procedure. We're gonna get. So when you put this on, keep in mind they go like this. These face the back of the bike. So this is the top one. So you'll rotate this forward. I'll hook this in like so. And that'll lock into there. There we go. That gave us enough slack to get that back in there, that back one. So now, I did put grease on this. It comes dry whenever you order it. And that basically just helps. It keeps these from, the cables from rubbing on anything, making any noise, possibly sticking. Get the casing. Slide this casing back on. So this is kind of difficult. You're gonna need 2 hands for this. But basically, the casing notches right here. There you go. It notches in there, and then the top is the same. It's got a notch that it notches into. And there's also a spot on the handlebar. See that little pin? Once you get these on there and you're kind of getting them together, you're just gonna basically rotate this and kind of move it back and forth, and you'll feel it drop into that notch on the handlebar. I think it's up in there. Yeah, I can't really get it, but yeah, it's up in there. So let me get that. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. It's on there. Throttle's doing good. Twist this. This is in the notch where it needs to be. The only issue I had when installing this originally, when I went to put this casing back together, it wasn't wanting to, basically down here, it wasn't wanting to go together. And then once I did have it and I tightened these down, it was locking the throttle. So basically I could turn it and it wouldn't move. And that was solved by up here. So the first step you guys did, where you loosen this and move it all the way in, that should alleviate any issues with that. So we get this on, tighten these 2 down, and then we'll come back up here to get the slack out. All right, there we are. That's on. You can see we got a lot of slop, but it is on there. I'm gonna slide this back over. This just keeps rainwater from getting down in here and everything. Slide that on. Push this handlebar back. We'll go ahead and install this bar in, because if there is anything catching when we go to adjust the cable, we want to make sure all of this is 100% ready to go. So if something does start to catch, we know it's coming from the adjustment. Okay, so here we are. Final step. Bar ends on. These don't have a Loctite. You're just going to hold this bar in when you go to tighten it bolt down, because this bar end's going to want to spin with it. So just hold that and then tighten it with the other hand. And this adjuster, now we're going to bring it out. You can see it's pretty tight there. And this is all preference. There is a spec for this, but it has a lot to do with preference, how much slop you want. If you're a newer rider, I would do the spec for it. That just keeps you, if you hit a speed bump or something like that, from goosing it. Yeah, so there's a nice bit of play. And a good way to see, sometimes when you get the tighter tolerances, it's hard to tell. With this bike, you can come down here, you can actually see that's me wiggling the throttle. So you can see how much play I'm actually putting to the cable before it actually starts to open. So if you want to, you can actually adjust it. See that coming out? That's me adjusting it now. And then playing with the throttle. Adjust it some more. Play with the throttle. Like I said, this is all preference. I like it really tight, so I'm gonna bring it out quite a bit. And that's pretty good for me. I like that. So Gonna come back up here, and we're just going to spin this back. And we'll take the two 8mm, lock these down, and then put the sheath back on it. Check it. Snaps back. Everything else is good, tight. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so that's it. That's the R6 throttle tube. I'll post a link in the one that I got this from, the Amazon page. Like I said, it comes with a grip. The grips match the factory R7 grips. No issues there. And like I said, it helps with basically a quicker throttle response. There's a reason people use like quick turn throttles and stuff on track bikes and everything. I wouldn't say it gives you more control, but it gives you quicker control. Like I said, for beginners, the stock one might be good for a minute. If you have experience on an R6 or something, just throw this on there, and it's going to completely change the bike. It feels way better rev matching and everything. But yeah, that's it, guys. Another quick video. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.